Alright, what is going on, my dudes? So, let me tell you, if you are a fan of underrated, extremely slow, but also powerful champions, boy do I have the champion for you, and his name is Dormammu. Today we are going to be taking up our 6-star Dormammu up to rank 3 on the Content Creator Program beta server, and we are going to be messing around with him, and we're going to be showing how this guy, even in 2020, still has some of the best power control in the entire game. It's very impressive, man. If you're a fan of this playstyle, Dormammu's a pretty good champion, dude. He really does get the job done when he has to, and there's a lot of different ways to play him, and I feel like that isn't something that a lot of people know about. It's not, I'm sure you know about like the parry, medium, parry, medium playstyle with him, and they'll never get above a bar of power, etc., 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 but there's also a lot of really powerful burst damage that goes along with that. So what we're going to be doing today is we got him up to rank 3. We're also going to be awakening the guy. And of course, just like always, we're going to be taking him up to signature level 200. We're going to be jumping into some content, some Act 6 content, and seeing if what he can do is actually useful. Now, one thing about Dormammu as well is he's also bleed immune and he's poison immune, okay? So he actually has a very, very large benefit from the suicide masteries, and he's just such a big, beefy boy. Look at him, man, all that purple and all that fire. It's crazy. So at Sig 200, rank 3, he does 4,316 direct damage when he nullifies that buff, okay? That's what makes him really annoying on defense. We know that. But as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on here, but basically, the way you want to use Dormammu is you want to start off by using a heavy attack, alright? And then you want to end your combos with mediums and burn their power, and that's going to feed into like his soul bond thing, and it's going to create something which is called imbued. Now, when Dormammu is imbued, that's when his special 1, his special 2, his special 3, and his heavy attacks all do different things. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to jump into the 6.2.6 Mystic Lane, or the Mystic Gate with all the Cosmic Champions, and we are going to go over all the different ways to use Dormammu, okay? So right off the gate, we're going to parry, we're going to go for a heavy attack. We now have that little red icon, alright? Now, watch what happens when we go for a double medium here. First of all, we're going to drain the power, and our little purple icon up there is going to go up, and so is the red icon up there. Now, one more, they're both going to get to 100. We are now imbued, okay? So if we go for another heavy attack here, that's a significant amount of burst damage. That was about 25k right there, okay? So that's not bad, man. It's really not bad. This is like the very, very standard way to play Dormammu, okay? If you just do medium for the entire fight, they're never going to get above a bar of power, okay? So unless there's any natural kind of power gain, you're not going to see a bar the entire fight. Look at this. This is now our second heavy attack, and Angela's down to 25% health, and we're at like 94% because we did take a little bit of block damage, of course. But at this point, after the second round of heavy attack into medium into heavy attack, we do want to do a couple mediums first before going to our third heavy attack rotation, just because we don't want her to be pushed above bar of power. And look, if worst comes to worst and we have to bait out a special 1 from Angela, it's really not the hardest thing to do in the entire world, but for the specific video, we don't want to do that, alright? So, moving on to Gamora, we are now going to showcase what's so special about his special 2 when we're imbued, okay? So, just like before, we're going to start off with a little heavy attack. I did medium heavy there. I don't recommend doing that when you're playing Dormammu ever. I did that like out of habit. I do that with a lot of champions. But basically that just gives him a little bit of extra power that you don't want to give to Gamora there. So at this point we are now imbued, okay? And as you can see, she's at like almost a quarter of a bar of power. So what I'm about to do here isn't even necessary with Dormammu, but I'm going to build up to a special 2, toss it off. I'm going to burn her power down to 0, and she is now power locked, okay? So I'm going to do a heavy attack. I'm going to chain another heavy attack there, and we already got the next cycle started up, man. So when they're at zero power and power locked there at 0, you're not going to be able to imbue yourself, and you're not going to be able to get the soul bond or whatever you call it. I don't know the exact vocabulary, but you're not going to be able to get those two things to go up, okay? But once that power lock goes away, well, we can start again. As you can see, we're starting again, and one more medium attack, and we're back to imbued, and we're going to power burn and power lock her again. And then we're gonna do another heavy attack and 1% health, of course, right? So that was another way to use Dormammu, and both of those, the Angela fight and the Gamora fight, were very efficient and were pretty much dominated by Dormammu the entire time. They never got above one single bar of power, which is kind of crazy, man. It really is kind of insane. So now we're gonna showcase something else with the Special 3. What a solid lane of champions to showcase all these things on. So, King Groot's a little annoying because, you know, when he has that Fury buff up, you can't really parry him, can't really go for the heavy attack, so we got to get rid of those Furies first. But now that we did, now we can go for the heavy attack. But I guess I didn't do that there. Don't really know why. Didn't do it there either, but I guess I'm just going, there we go. Now I did it. But I'm also imbued already. So you can get the imbue before, you can get that before you put the red thing on the opponent. But you know, when you start the fight off with a heavy attack, it's pretty much always going to go at the same pace. But basically, what I want to do here is I want to build up to a Special 3 when I have that imbue and he has the 100 on him, okay? So now at this point, I'm going to toss off a Special 3, and Dormammu has a really, really awesome Special 3 animation. I'm a really, really big fan of it. He kind of like, you know, takes them to the dark dimension and crushes them. So at this point, I have the dimension link, and I got to build that imbue back up. There we go. Now, what I would do here is I would toss off a heavy attack, and I should have done that, but I didn't do it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to parry and go for it like a chump, and then I'm going to get nervous, and I'm going to go in and try to do it again, and try for one more heavy attack like an absolute chump. So let's pretend like we didn't see that, and let's just fast forward and set that all up again. But you know what? That actually does help my case, because what I'm showing you here is that Dormammu has a very decent amount of regeneration. So right now we're at what? Let's say 52%. We are at 52% here, and now we're gonna build back up. We got that imbue, and let's check it out. Straight up to 80%. We went up 30% there from that. So if you mess up in the fight, like I did, Dormammu has a very, very decent regeneration. Of course, we're seeing some more special attacks from King Groot in this fight because I wasn't taking it slow. I was going a little bit faster just to get to that Special 3, okay? Of course, I could have taken this fight slow like the other ones, but you know, I didn't. I just didn't do it. Let's move on now. Now we have a Venom, okay? So this is how his Special 1 works. We haven't talked about the Special 1 yet. We did Basic, we did Special 2, we did Special 3, and now we're going to do Special 1. So the way the Special 1 works is that it gets rid of one buff on the opponent, okay? That's normal Special 1. However, if we're imbued, if we have that green icon up there, well, it gets rid of pretty much all of them. So let's get that imbue going. 2 more medium attacks. 1 more. Come on, Venom. Let me get a parry. Go for medium, medium. Gonna go, probably gonna go parry into Special 1 here. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Now watch all those buffs. All of them are gone. All of them are gone. Now, unfortunately, Dormammu doesn't work in the way where they all cause degeneration. He pretty much gives the 1 degeneration, which is kind of upsetting. That's like the one fatal flaw I see with Dormammu, and that's because like we have champions like Longshot and Morningstar who like nullify all of the buffs on their Special 2, and it does massive amount of damage, and Dormammu gets rid of them all. However, it only does 1 stack of degen, which isn't really too impressive at rank 3. But as you can see, I have been tossing off the Special 1s. I did 2 more since I did that first one, and I only got rid of 1 buff, okay? So that's the difference between, like you'll see right here, can get rid of 1 buff, or that would have, but when you're imbued, it gets rid of all of them, okay? So it's a really nice way to nullify, but it's not the best way to do a lot of damage, all right? But you're probably saying, you know, how does Dormammu work in fights where there are natural power gain? Like, I don't know, how would he work against like a Hyperion? Well, what are the freaking coincidences here? What are the odds? We have a Mystic Conditioning Hyperion here. So if we go back in time, and you remember the fight I showed you showcasing the Special 2, where he power burns and also power locks the opponent, well, that's probably going to come in pretty handy here, right? Besides the fact that we can nullify his power gain buff if we have to, we can also power burn on power drain on every single medium attack. Now that we're imbued, we just have to build up to a Special 2, and we're pretty much going to be good to go. Bait out the Special 1 here, go right in. We're going to try to get a parry here, but he's probably going to have to bait out 1 more Special 1. Go in again with a medium attack. Now let's toss off that special 2. Look at that. Power burn, power burn, power burn, and power lock. So here, we took a punch to the face, but you know what to do. Act like you didn't see that. And at this point, man, we're going to get that big bursty damage, and we're going to go and start setting up the next one now, okay? So we're going to go right in, parry medium, medium. We're going to go right in medium, medium there. We got to do a couple more of those so we can get that imbue. And now, by the way, when they toss off a special attack, that burns a lot of power. It drains a lot of power. So it's going to instantly imbue us, and it's going to instantly set the soul charge thing up to 100, okay? So overall, man, Dormammu is a power control freaking machine, dude. So this was all very impressive. All of that, all those fights were very impressive by Dormammu. Of course, that could be done with a rank 5 Dormammu as well. The sig ability isn't too important for him. Of course, it would be much slower with the rank 5. We're having fun with the rank 3 today. So up next, we're going to go to 6.4.1 here. This is Tunnel Vision and Biohazard. Now, why are we going here? Well, we're going here because I want to show you the Biohazard pretty much. Because like I said, Dormammu is bleeding poison immune. Now, keep in mind, there is also Tunnel Vision here, so I'm not really going to be able to do my parry medium, medium like I have been. I'm going to have to do parry medium, light medium like a freaking chump. Alright, so he's probably going to get to a couple of special ones unless I can race to a special 2 before he ever gets to a special 1, and I can burn his power and I can power lock him just like that. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I was imbued when I did that, so I did mess up there. And I also messed up there when I got the falter on me, but that's alright, man. It's not the biggest deal in the world. Dormammu has a very large health pool, and he's a pretty chunky guy. So at this point, I am trying to get imbued before he gets to a special 2, and before I toss off my special 2, and at this point I did get it, so now I can toss off my special 2 safely, and I will power burn him, and I will power lock him at 0 bars of power. And at this point I can go for the heavy attack. Right there, very nice, and that did a decent chunk of damage, man. This is 6.4 opponents here. This is 6.4 health pools and 6.4 attack values. So this is a big beefy boy. This is a big beefy Thor that we're fighting. This isn't like, 6.2 is not really a pushover per se, but it's a lot, pushier than 6.4. This is like top level content here. Now, this next fight, I was very impressed with, man. I went into this, I didn't think it was going to go as well as it did. But Stealth Spidey's pretty annoying to fight because he evades occasionally, and he has, sometimes difficult to deal with special attacks. But we're just going to try and never see those special attacks here. We're going to parry, we're going to medium, light, medium, okay? We're not going to trigger Tunnel Vision at all. We're going to try to get up to our special 2. We're going to try to get that big burst damage occasionally when we have to. Look at this, parry, medium, light, medium before the stun wears out there because we have Stupefy at 3 out of 3. Don't have to worry about him evading out of our combo ever. We're not going to give him the chance to. We're not going to give him the chance, man. We're going to get a nice, decent bit of burst damage there. We're going to go medium, light, medium again, or just back off. Going to go medium, right into special 2. We were imbued. We're going to power burn him down to 0 and get the power lock. All right. We're going to get that heavy attack charge again. We're going to do medium, light, medium here, but we're not going to be able to get any of those charges because we're not actually draining any power. Okay. But just from one special 2 and one heavy detonation, this guy's down to 40%, man. Like, his basic attacks, I mean, they're doing okay when they crit. They're hitting for like 4k mediums, which is like alright, but it's really not like what we want to be seeing from a rank 3 champion. But for me, Dormammu isn't about the basic hits. It's about the unbelievable power control and the pretty decent burst damage when you explode that heavy, plus the special 2 hits okay, and it burns some power as well, alright? But at this point, man, look at that. In 50 hits, he didn't even reach a bar of power once. 6.4 opponent. He didn't reach a bar of power one time. We're 2 fights in on this lane. He didn't reach 1 bar. We're going to go for Rocket Raccoon as well, man. I think I actually do end up dying in this fight because I made a mistake, like baiting a special or something. But the point is, man, it's like, if you play well, like I messed up and that's why I do die, but if you play well and you hit all your parries, it's very hard to die with Dormammu. Unless there's like some insane power gain that you have to deal with, it's very hard to push them above a bar of power. Now, of course, if there's increased power gain, 100% or 200% increased power gain, or something like Vivified, where they're immune to power drain, and power burn, and power lock, and all of that stuff, of course, Dormammu is not going to be useful there at all. I don't need you guys to tell me that in the comment section and say, oh, he sucks, can't use him for Vivified. Of course you can't use him for Vivified. There's like 3 champions you should be using for Vivified, honestly, and one of them is Quake. So like, you know, and she just breaks the game there. But at this point, man, it's like, if you have a normal fight with whatever node's going on with a normal amount of power gain and no passive power gain, Dormammu is a very reliable champion to bring into any normal fight like that. And even if there is a sort of passive power gain available for you, like on that Hyperion fight, he still gets through it really, really easily. Yeah, there I think I missed the parry, and that's why I ended up dying. But if I got that heavy detonation, that Rocket Raccoon would have been flushed down the toilet there. So up next, this is going to be for a little bit of fun here. We're going to jump into Variant 2. Where there's this global buff, Dimensional Dominion. So basically what it means is that when the attacker as Dormammu or Thanos uses a heavy attack, they're going to get an indestructible and an unstoppable buff for however many seconds. That goes on cooldown for like 10 seconds, and the dude is literally immortal, dude. I remember when I was doing Variant 2, 100% for the first time, there were like those Grandmaster Crystal deals that popped up, and I bought one for fun, and I pulled a 5-star Dormammu, and I took him up to rank 3, and I used him for this chapter, and I did it just like this, man. I just kept spamming heavy attacks in the corner, and he was unstoppable and indestructible for the entire fight, and it's so much fun, man. It's so ridiculous. I don't know how, when they were designing this quest, they let this happen, because I mean, I'm literally button mashing in the corner, and it's just so much fun, man. Look at that. I took 9 hits in that fight, and I just, nothing, man. You don't gotta worry about nothing. It's crazy. Let's go for the next one, man. This Angela. There's like Limber on this load and like something else as well. I don't even gotta worry about that because we're indestructible and unstoppable the entire. Look at that. We're literally, as if we're like playing Ghost, we're letting them hit into us as if we were like phasing and then going for a medium attack. It's literally unbelievable. We're just charging our heavies. We're letting them hit into us. Now we're waiting for that little timer, which is like a 5-second cooldown here at this point. Look at this. Boom. Look at that. Back to indestructible, back to unstoppable. We're going to power lock them. We're going to let them hit into us. Go for a heavy attack. Do it again. It's unreal. It's unreal, man. Dormammu, if you have Dormammu, dude, even like a 4-star Dormammu is going to be absolutely ridiculous for this chapter, man. It's not necessarily the hardest chapter either way, but like it's just so fun. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's madness. I think I went for this Ultron as well, and yeah, so I went for this Ultron. Now Dormammu is actually a really bad matchup for Ultron because all of his attacks are energy based, so that's another thing we should talk about. He has complete energy based attacks, so he can be used for Korg, potentially, if you find yourself with a nasty Korg and you have trouble fighting Korg, you know, he has all energy-based attacks. So what's happening with Ultron is that his SIG ability lets him heal when he takes energy-based attacks. So basically, you know, we're still doing decent damage when it comes to like our bursty stuff from like the heavy attack and the special 2 power burn and stuff like that. But basically, he's also healing a lot of it back. So whenever you find an Ultron, if you're a big Dormammu guy, don't bring your Dormammu up against Ultron because it's going to be not the most amount of fun. That goes for like Arena too, which is going to make Arena matches very, very long. I brought Dormammu against Ultron in Arena matches more times than I can count, and I regret it every single time. But yeah, dude, like at this point, we're just literally button mashing in the corner anyway, so it doesn't even matter, man. And of course, you know, this Dormammu is a rank 3, so he's probably going to do it a lot faster than like a rank 3 5-star or like a maxed out 4-star. But this is what a 5-star or a 4-star could do in this chapter as well. You just gotta be more patient, you know? Pretty much when you're indestructible and unstoppable, just let them hit into you and go in as if you were playing Ghost, you know what I mean? Let them hit through your phase, your indestructible, unstoppable phase there. That's pretty much what you want to do. But, you know, this Ultron's down to 10% here. I don't even know why I'm letting this fight play out. I feel like you know how it's going to end. But at this point, I think we're going to go for like a full combo and just finish it off, or maybe go for the special 2. There we go. Very, very nice. So, my dudes, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. I do hope you see the value in Dormammu's power control now. I hope that this shined a little bit of light on Dormammu. Do you think he's underrated? Because let me tell you something. I think this guy is underrated, man. And one reason why I haven't ranked up my 6-star yet to 6-2 is because I always was like, you know, when he's duped, I'll bring him up. But like, his signature ability didn't really come into play once for this entire video, and he was kind of unstoppable the entire time. So it's definitely something I'm gonna have to think about. I mean, if you want to bring him up for defense, he definitely needs to be duped because, like, you know, he punishes dexterity and all of that stuff and yada yada yada. Of course, you know how it goes. But he's, as an attacker, man, this guy is just like reliable. Like, he, in any matchup where there isn't an exorbitant amount of power gain or defensive power rate, he's gonna be there for you, dude. He really impressed me in this video. I hope he impressed you as well. Anyway, my dudes, if you did enjoy this video, please do your boy a favor and drop a like. Comment what you think about Dormammu in the comment section below, and subscribe if you want to see some more videos just like this coming to you very, very soon. I'll be seeing you around.